Okay, good morning students. Today we are going to discuss advanced mathematics of class 9 and chapter is sets. Now let us discuss two collection of numbers. First I have written n is a collection of numbers. N stands for natural number. What are the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. Then we come to w. W is a collection of whole numbers. So I have written the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Now if you see these two collection, if I tell you is 0 a natural number, what will be your answer? No, 0 is not a natural number, because in natural numbers we do not have 0, because 1 is the smallest natural number. If I tell you, if I ask you is -3 is a whole number, your answer will be no, because the whole number starts from 0. So this type of collections are well defined collections. Well defined means these are accepted by everyone in this art. Everyone accepted that natural number starts from 1. 1 is the smallest natural number, and after that you will get the remaining natural numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or like this. Similarly, the collection of whole numbers, this is also well defined. So I am telling this to say you that this type of collections, just like you can say like this also, suppose G, here we have A, E, I, O, U. What are these? A, E, I, O, U. These are called vowels. We Indians know that A, E, I, O, U, these are vowels. Similarly, Chinese also knows, and Americans also, British also. Everyone accepts that A, E, I, O, U are the vowels. So this is a collection of some well-defined object. So a set, what is a set definition? A set is a collection of some well-defined elements. Whatever objects we have inside the set, those are called its elements. If these are sets, then I will give you some of the examples which are not sets. Like let A equal to collection of big rivers in Assam. Here, where our opinions are not same, different people have different opinions. According to me, Kopli is big river, but according to someone, Brahmaputra is big river. So the definition of big is not defined. How much big a river should be, so that it will be regarded as big, that definition is not given. So this type of collections are not sets. These are not sets. Similarly, in your class, a collection of beautiful girls in your class. So every girl in your class believes that they are beautiful. So the definition of the perception of beauty is not same for everyone. According to me, someone is beautiful. According to you, some different girl is beautiful. So this type of collections are not a sets. So ultimately, what we say now, what we come to the conclusion: a set is a collection of some well-defined objects or elements. The objects inside the sets are called its elements. Sets are always denoted by capital letters. I am writing here N, capital letters, then W, capital letters, V, capital letters, A, B. Sets are denoted by capital letters. Now we are going to discuss a symbol called epsilon, belongs to symbol. In set, suppose that N is a set having element 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Here is a mathematical symbol. This symbol is called belongs to. Belongs to. This symbol is called belongs to. Now, if you see, 1 belongs to N. Yes or no? Because N is starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. So 1 belongs to N. So mathematically, how shall we write it? Mathematically, we shall write it by this symbol. 1 belongs to N. And next question is suppose -3. -3 is not in N. So we shall write -3 does not belong to N. So this symbol is read as belongs to symbol. So since 1 belongs to N, we shall write 1 belongs to N. And -3 does not belongs to N, so mathematically we shall write -3 does not belongs to n. In next, now we are going to discuss about representation of sets. A set can be represented by two methods. There are two methods by which you can represent a set. The number one method is tabular or roster method. In tabular or roster method, we write the elements of the set inside a curly bracket, giving a comma between two consecutive elements. Suppose V is a set of vowels. So what are the vowels? A, E, I, O, U. So how shall we write? We give a curly bracket like this. Then we write the elements one by one. A, then give comma, then E, then give comma, I, O, U. So in tabular or roster method, we write the elements inside a curly bracket by giving a comma between two consecutive elements. The second method is rule or set builder method. Rule method. So suppose V equal to, we have A, E, I, O, U. This is I have written in tabular method. Now we shall discuss a symbol, mathematical symbol. This is giving to comma, this is giving to point like this, or this bar. This is read as such date. This symbol or this symbol is read as such date. In rule method, we write the common property of the elements. So when we write this set in rule method, it will be like V equal to, we give a curly bracket, then we take a variable x such date. This symbol is read as such date. Now these are what? A, E, I, O, U. These are vowels. So what shall we write? V equal to x such date. X is a vowel. Now suppose we are taking second example. Second example is like that. Suppose A is a set having element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in set builder method, how will you write? What are the properties of them? They have two common properties. First of all, they are all less than 6. Yes or no? And second one is they are natural numbers. So how shall we write? X such that x is less than 6. X such that x is less than 6 and x belongs to n. I told just before, now belongs to means x is a natural number. So this is rule method. The first method is tabular method. In tabular method, we write the elements inside a curly bracket like this by giving a comma between two consecutive elements. And in set builder method or rule method, we take as x, one variable x, then we write x such that we write the common properties of the elements. So x such that x is less than 6 and x belongs to n. Now, depending upon the number of elements in a set is divided into 4 types. Depending upon the number of elements in a set is divided into 4 types. First one is finite set. Second one is infinite set. Third one is null set. Fourth one is singleton set. What is finite set? A set having finite number of elements, countable number of elements is known as finite set. Suppose A is a set having element A, B, C, X, Y, Z. So what are the elements it has? A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. So it has 26 elements. So this is an example of finite set. A set having finite number of elements is called finite set. Then infinite set. A set having infinite number of elements is called infinite set. If the elements of a set cannot be counted, you cannot complete, you cannot get a last number, last element, then that is known as infinite set. For example, set of natural number. Natural number starts from 1, you go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dot dot dot. You will never get the last element. The set of natural number starts from 1, you will go from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go on counting like that. You will never get the last element because every number has its successor. If you give me, suppose you tell me 1 lakh, then I will add 1, I will get the next number 1 lakh 1. If you tell me 1 crore, then I will add 1 more, I will get 1 crore 1. So since every element has its successor, so the set of natural number is an example of infinite set. Then come to the set of null set. What is null set? A set having no elements. A set having no element is known as null set. It is denoted by this symbol phi. It's read as phi. So what is phi? Phi means nothing inside the curly bracket. A null set is a set which has no element. Now, if I take like this, A is a set X such that X is less than 2, X is an even positive number. Now 2 is the smallest even number. We don't have any number less than 2. So it will be an example of null set. Similarly, the set of prime numbers less than 2. The set of prime numbers less than 2 are also example of null set. So a set having no element is called null set. Null set is denoted by this letter phi, read as phi, and phi means in curly bracket there is nothing. I have given an example x such that x is less than 2 and x is an even positive number. Then come to the last topic, singleton set. Now what is singleton set? A set having only one element is called singleton set. Suppose A is a set of even prime number. Set of even prime number. What is the even prime number? The even prime number is only 2. So this set contains only one element. So a set which contains only one element are known as is known as singleton set. So what we have got till now? Finite set. A set containing finite number of elements is called finite set. Infinite set. A set containing infinite number of elements is called infinite set. Null set. A set having no element is called null set. Null sets are denoted by the symbol phi. Null sets are denoted by the symbol phi. Then come to the singleton set. A set which contains only one element is known as singleton set. Then we are going to discuss, after this we will discuss subset and superset. Now we shall discuss about subset and superset. Now what is subset? Suppose we consider two sets. A is a set having element 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. B is a set having element 1, 2, 3, and suppose 1, 2, 3 only. 1, 2, and 3. Now here, what we have seen? We have seen that all the elements of A are in B. So A contains 1, B also contains 1, A contains 2, B also contains 2, A contains 3, B also contains 3. If all the elements of A are also an element of B, then A is a subset of B. It is written as A subset. This is the symbol for subset. A is a subset of B. And B is called superset of A. If all the elements of A are also the elements of B, then A is a subset of B and B is called superset of A. Now what is proper subset and superset? So proper subset, suppose A is a set having element 1, 2, 3. B is a set having element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here all the elements of A are in B. A belongs to 1 belongs to A, 1 is also in B. 2 belongs to A, 2 is also in B. 3 belongs to A, 3 is also in B. So all the elements of A are in B. So this is called proper subset. If B contains, besides containing the elements of A, if B contains some extra elements, its own element, because B already contains the elements of A, that is 1, 2, 3, but B also has some its own element 4 and 5. If this happens, then A is a proper subset of B. This is the symbol for proper subset. And B is a proper superset of A. So I said this one is subset. Actually, this is known as improper subset. A is an improper subset of B because all the elements of A and B are same. If the elements of A and B are same, because A contains 1, 2, 3, B also contains 1, 2, 3. So ultimately we can say that A is an improper subset of B. Improper subset. Improper. Improper subset. If all the elements of A are in B and they are also equal, this is called improper subset. If besides containing the elements of A, B also contains some extra element, then this is called proper subset. So here A is a subset, proper subset of B and B is a proper superset of A. Here A is a improper subset of B and B is a improper subset of A. Now let us discuss about power set. What is power set? Okay, before that, first we shall illustrate it with an example. Let A is a set having element A, B and C. Now, what are the probable subsets of A? Now we shall write the probable subsets of A. First we shall take one element, like this one. A, this is B, this is C. Single element. They are all subsets of A because A contains a proper subset. A, this is a subset of A. Similarly, this is also a subset of A. This is also a subset of A. Then you take two elements, like A comma B, then A comma C, then B comma C. After that, you take three elements A, B and C. If you enclose these subsets by a curly bracket like this, then this is called a power set of A and written as P of A. P of A means power set of A. So ultimately, power set is a set of all the subsets. Power sets. A power set is a set of all the subsets of a set A. So that class of subsets, if you take all the subsets of A here, A single element first, A, B, C, then double, A, B, A, C, B, C, then triple element A, B, C. I forgot one thing. Phi is a subset of all the sets. You will write here phi also. So its power set is a set of all the subsets of a set A. You always remember that the note, you always remember phi is a subset of all the set. Phi is always a subset of all the set because phi has nothing. Phi means null set, so this is always a subset of all the sets. In the next class, we shall discuss about exercise 2.1 and we will also discuss about universal set and Venn diagram. Okay, thank you.